Man, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy G-reg. We are back with part 2 of the parents discovered teen son's horrifying secret with Explore With Us. Yeah, we're gonna finish this up. I'm probably gonna post a couple videos. Actually, I'll post them tomorrow. Yeah, we'll post them tomorrow. So yeah, let's get into it.
Let's have a simple question for the killers.
Oh, and you gotta remember, part 1, basically, homie crashes his car into the river, Colorado River. The cops come, parents come question him. They leave the car in the river while questioning him. Then the cops let him go home. Parents come back. The cops pull the car out the water. There's blood coming out of the trunk. They found the next day, but they send it with them anyways. They send the car home. Next day they come back. Homeless man was missing. And earlier that morning, the dad of the kid that crashed the car found a wallet in the car that matched the homeless guy that was missing. And then the mom, 2 days later, a day later, or whatever, or the same day, I don't actually remember, finds a head and hands, a single head and hands in a plastic bag and garbage bags in his closet, calls the cops, and homie just basically is straight up with everything. Tells the story how he did everything, and this is the part where we're at.
Sitting before them.
We're about to find some crazy shit out.
Make your dog a Quattro dog. Credelio Quattro offers the broadest parasite protection of its kind, protecting against ticks, fleas, heartworm disease, and 3 intestinal worms, including tapeworms, in a single monthly chewable tablet. Use with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurological disorders. Ask for Credelio Quattro and make your dog a Quattro dog.
What do we... Are we serious? What the fuck, YouTube?
G-reg Hilton Northern.
That piece of that article of clothing with violence. That's why I was wearing it that night. Yes.
As horrifying as all of this is, nothing they've heard so far can prepare investigators for the rest of the seismic revelations to come. First, however, detectives have a simple question for the killer sitting before them.
Have you ever done it before? No. Okay. You gotta ask, right? Yeah. How about animals? Have you practiced on anything? Yes. It's pretty big stuff. Tell me about that. It was 2018 Halloween. A stray black cat had been coming around our house. This was before I moved into my mom's. This was at my dad's. And I was thinking about killing it.
The video is redacted in this part, but the transcript from the sheriff's office says that Brian told detectives that he herded the cat into a sleeping bag and beat it, strangled it, and snapped its neck. He then decapitated the cat, hid the body in a shoebox, and hid the head in a wine cork box. It seems clear that Brian has a sick interest in decapitation. There are chilling parallels between what he did to the cat and to Warren, including decapitation and keeping the heads in boxes. Both times he preyed on those he knew were vulnerable, and that he believed no one would notice.
And then I disposed it in the trash and got away with it. Killing that cat. Did you keep him for a while like you did this guy, or? I kept it for 3 days. Then it started to stink. So where you got the 3 days and it stinks? Also because bacteria starts to float the body after a day to 3 days, so.
The story that Brian might have killed a cat is actually a widespread rumor in Grand Junction.
Did you ever hear about Brian, either from him or anybody else, about him killing a cat?
Yes, I remember hearing about it, but it honestly just sounded like made-up rumor, so I didn't really think anything about it.
Did you ever talk to him directly about it? Like ask him if it was true?
I did. I don't really remember.
Do you ever remember him saying, yes, I did that, or no, I didn't, anything like that? Okay. But you'd heard rumors that possibly it happened, but never really got to the bottom of it?
Mm-hmm.
Patrick is not the only one to hear rumors of this type and ignore them, saying it was some kind of a sick joke.
I know that there was another girl in that class who told me that she lived near him in that neighborhood and that they were always missing cats, and she felt like he was stealing cats in the neighborhood.
And honestly, I don't remember if I found that out through him or through friends. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I definitely know about the cat.
Did you believe that, or did you think it was just Brian saying something outrageous?
Honestly, I don't know. I think I believed it, but that I didn't want to, because I am a big animal lover, and that's just, I didn't want to see my friend in that kind of light. I remember my friends just talking about how messed up it was, and my friend Sean said that he knew the person whose cat it was, and he was super upset because the cat was like super friendly or whatever. But I don't think I ever heard it around Brian himself.
In a redacted portion of the interrogation video, Brian admits to finding a dead groundhog by the side of the road, which he skinned and attempted to make leather out of approximately a year before the murder.
It sounds like you killed a cat. Well, actually, I was thinking of killing people during the cat, but I wasn't acting on it. But I started seriously thinking about killing people a year ago. How about when you were 12? Did you think about killing? No. So what in your life has changed, or what in your mind has changed to make you? I don't know. Was it like something all of a sudden one day you woke up and thought I'll kill someone, or was it a gradual? It was gradual, I think. So tell me about when those thoughts first started happening. Well, in high school.
The interrogation is again redacted here, but Brian says, quote, "Called me weird, but I think everyone has had thoughts of shooting up their school. I suppose I just don't really like people."
But he wanted to read really bizarre things and things that we didn't have in the library. I remember he actually checked out a book about Son of Sam, and then the next quarter he wanted to read about the Columbine shootings. He was very obsessed with just that kind of darker stuff.
You mentioned a writing assignment. I can't remember anything specific just because it's been so long, but it does seem like there was at some point something he wrote, an idea about Columbine or something like that. I can't remember really the specifics.
Okay.
It's more of a sense that he had an unhealthy fascination with school shootings.
Back in the interrogation, Brian tells the detectives that this isn't the first time his family has found something unsettling in his room.
Last year, my parents found a kit I had been assembling. It had hammers, shovels, knives, large zip ties, duct tape, a saw. I was meant for hurting people. They found it though, and I had convinced them it was for other methods, for other things. And it was an ultimatum where if I didn't throw it away, all that, they would call the police. And then I would have been arrested on charges of conspiracy. That was last year, before Halloween. So what made you put that kit together? That was for nights like that. So back then you were thinking about doing that? Yes. That was $100 to write.
In an interview, Brian's high school teacher recalls that his parents didn't seem overly interested in his disturbing behavior.
We weren't obviously the only class that was having issues with him, and I remember said that they had met with mom, and she kind of, I think they said, like, didn't really understand, like, what's the big deal sort of thing. Like, she wasn't really like, yeah, this is serious, or we need to get ahead of it. It sounded like they didn't get anywhere with her from what I remember.
Indeed, a friend of Brian's mom notes that Terry felt that school authorities were unfairly singling out her son.
And you got a batshit crazy son, bitch.
This is Podium Series, a collaboration between Armor All and Oracle Red Bull Racing. Precision-engineered products that bring out the best.
Come on, bro. Fuck the ads.
The Armor All Podium Series, engineered for exceptional results.
Terry had like a binder, I remember, of information that she had conflicts with District 51.
Okay.
I know growing up as a kid, he was really teased in school that they would call him like four-eyed, geek, loser, dork, all that stuff.
But the detectives in the interrogation room are more interested about his murderous intentions in the preceding months.
I'm really curious, when you talked about the hammer and the shovels and the knives and like the zip ties, I mean, what was kind of your plan then? That's a little bit different than you did this time.
Oh, yeah.
So what was the plan back then?
The plan was to go find, because there's no prostitutes in Grand Junction, I don't think. Have you ever had any sex crimes?
Yeah.
There's not prostitutes, like 5 of them standing alongside the road, but there's prostitutes in Grand Junction. Yeah, the plan was to go with one of them and have them come with me. And then the plan was to subdue them and tie them up and then torture her.
So what made you not go back to the same plan and get, if you kind of had that as a plan?
Would I have been caught?
Well, I don't know. My point is, if your folks, your mom found your stuff, right?
Yes.
And got rid of it. Why didn't you go back to that plan? Why change plans?
Too much risky. First time in a row, they'll be like, okay, that's really suspicious, but okay, we forgive you, don't do it again. Okay. Second time in a row, we're calling the police on you. I didn't want to do that again.
Okay, fair enough. And so they didn't call the police?
No, because they gave me an ultimatum, have them throw it all away, or call the police. So I threw it all away.
Detective Norcross does an excellent job showing great interest in Brian's kids and his previous plans, all of which encourages the suspect to keep talking and helps build a strong case against him. At this point, the video is redacted, but according to the transcript, the detectives ask Brian if he ever expressed any of his dark thoughts to his parents. He tells them yes, but only disguised as jokes. For instance, he once said, quote, "Wouldn't it be funny if you sold a lipstick with mercury on it to those beauty pageant queens, and they got poisoned because of their pride?" Brian was making these kinds of comments while in high school, as his teacher shares.
Then he would just say some bizarre things, like to get a rise out of class, kind of to try and get attention on him, like just say a racial slur, or, just kind of be loud and obnoxious to try and get attention.
Were those outbursts, pretty random, just in the middle of class? Or
well, one was watching a video, I think it's about, Genghis Khan or something. He said something like, an Asian racial slur. I think it was, oh, he got that, or something.
Okay.
Of course, the matter before investigators today isn't Brian's inappropriate humor, but his actions on the night of the murder, and the revelations from that night are far from over. Brian finally reveals the twisted true story behind his mishap with his car and the river 2 nights ago.
What were you doing down here, bud?
Well, I felt like I needed to get out, and I figured, why not park here and just
relax a little bit?
Relax and think.
As it turns out, Brian's road trip to the Blue Heron boat ramp had absolutely nothing to do with relaxation. He explains to the detectives that after he murdered Warren Barnes, he returned home to try and sleep.
But I was worried that because there was a hole in my gloves right here, I was worried that they would be able to obtain a partial print. So I figured, why not go all the way? I drove back in a different outfit, picked up his body, surprisingly heavy, put it in my trunk, and drove to the Blue Heron drop-off station. I parked, so it's like this, right? So let's say this is ground. The ramp is quite steep, and you need to have 4-wheel drive to pull out of it. Okay. And my car didn't. So I pulled in. I thought that I could drive out, because I put it in reverse, A, so that it's easier to pull the body out, and B, because the back tires would provide propulsion to push up. Right. And I open the trunk, I take his body out, I put it in the water, and because I don't want fingerprints on a body, so I just try moving it with my shoes. That works successfully. He goes out some part in the river and floats off. Okay. God knows where he is now. Maybe a he. He's dead. Still he. Okay, yeah. God knows where he is now. I think my guess was that it would be discovered this morning or next morning, so keep an eye out for any river-related activity. Okay. To inevitably drive out.
Yeah.
My car didn't come out.
From Blue Heron.
Yeah, from Blue Heron. Yeah. My car was stuck. I tried putting it full throttle.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. My car didn't have 4-wheel drive. Okay. Me.
Okay.
And so then I tried putting it in low gear. I'm trying everything with this.
Right.
And it still doesn't come out. And then it slides into the river.
Oh!
My car slides into the river, me inside. And so I'm there in a car quickly being flooded with water. Okay, it's the middle of February.
It's cold.
At night.
Yeah.
In the river that's almost freezing.
Yes.
I'm drenched. I almost died. So I'm able to climb out. I don't see the body, so I assume it's traveled a bit.
Okay.
I come up, and I'm sitting there. I need to act fast or else I'll die of hypothermia. I'm panicking a bit at this point. I'm going to be like, this is what I'm going to be remembered for, dying of hypothermia and a botched attempt at hiding a body. And I'm just like...
Once again, we see Brian in good spirits while sharing what could pass as an amusing anecdote if it were not for the horrifying truth behind what he's describing. His story also shows that he has a preoccupation with how he'll be remembered.
Here he is now.
Hi, I'm just trying to make sense of all this data.
Just get Saspaya.
Saspaya?
And what did you tell your parents? I mean, you obviously, gotta tell them something, the car's in the running.
Yeah. So what I say is, I feel like I need to get out. I often do. I feel like I need to get out. I hear my thoughts. Have you ever felt that?
Absolutely.
So I'd say that I drive down to the Blue Heron Point and just park and just...
Yo, what up? What up, bro? Sosa. You see fucking Diddy's free, bro? He basically is free, bro. He got charged with transporting prostitutes. Yeah, I guarantee they weren't fucking prostitutes. I'm not trying to rage off that. What up, Sosa? How you been, gang? How you doing, gang? Man, I'm streaming all fucking day today. I'm going all day. All day. I'm going to like 10. I'm doing a 12-hour stream. But, no, I'm just not happy today. I'm not going to lie. And I got like 4 or 5 random people in my fucking... That's good. I told you.
and I tell them that I'm stupid and I park too low. And my car's flying in the river. Okay.
Did they believe you?
Yes. And then the police came. I didn't do a breathalyzer test because I wasn't drinking.
Was it the police or the sheriff?
It was the police.
Okay.
In addition to the rest of the damning evidence, Brian...
What you want today? You want to run 2K or Madden later? I got to reinstall them because I got a new Xbox. But I'll install those bitches if you trying to run it. Actually, let me do that shit right now.
Relays to the detectives. He now reveals that he was not intoxicated on the night of the murder, closing off another potential defense in court.
However, what immediately caught the police's attention is blood from the body was on the reverse bumper. I forgot to wipe it off. And I was so panicked I wasn't thinking. And so when they pull it out, they immediately see blood on the bumper. And they're all thinking, we really like to get in this trunk. Fools, there is nothing in the trunk.
Okay. And that happened this morning?
No, they noticed it after I'd been sent home at 3 a.m.
Okay.
They noticed the blood, but yeah, this morning they noticed some more blood on the door handle, the other door handle, passenger one, and also the multi-layered gloves in the car. I took them out, and obviously my car went in order before I was able to throw them away.
Sure.
Bro, what the fuck are you doing?
Talk to you guys about that this morning?
Got a new Xbox.
Did the cops from
Playing Coming Home by Diddy. Yeah, let's do it. I just got it done. Alright, bet.
Did they talk to you about that this morning?
No, I was not contacted.
Oh.
Brian's car was pulled out of the river.
Alright, yeah, let me know whenever you go live, I'll join your live. If I'm not, I'm gonna be live. Alright, just text me. Yeah, just text me.
Hours of February 28th, and this interrogation takes place the next day.
All they were planning to do with me today is get my insurance information.
Sure.
And they were still curious about the blood.
Did they ask you about that?
No, because they did not notice it while I was still there.
So when you say they were curious about the blood, how do you know that they were curious?
Because my parents told me.
Oh.
They saw the blood too, and they were curious. But I said, I don't know where the blood came from. They thought maybe it was just cuts, but obviously a cut doesn't produce that much blood. And they said maybe it was the recovering abscess under my arm, but that's scabbed up. So they didn't know what to believe this day because it's blood, it's sticky, it's sinewy, but I can't name a source. So they were just a tiny bit curious. Not tiny bit, they were curious.
This is another spot of his oddly placed laughter, showing that he really enjoys talking about the scene.
Yeah, so you see this kid? This kid was viral like a year ago, bro. He had a head and hands in his fucking his closet, and his mom found it, bro.
Details.
She ran a daycare at home. Like,
however, his position
imagine one of them kids
didn't last long. Police do indeed find more blood in and on the car, confirming Brian's tale.
It's the big summer sale. Shop and save on
fuck
styles
your pregnant
made to
ass. I don't give a fuck.
And I was worried about just how long
pregnant ass bitch. Alright, my bad.
It's a somewhat traveled road. Police have a nose for that type of thing. They're trained to be able to identify them.
Hey, Sosa, young boy drop in 2 days.
Of course. And obviously that was botched.
The true story of what happened at the boat ramp will come as news to his friend Kylan Like, with whom Brian shared a very different account. First, though, on the very same night that he dumped Warren's body into the river, Brian messaged a group on Discord, which Kylan was part of. He wrote, "So, I totaled my car. It's in the river." One of his friends replied, "What? You okay?" Brian wrote back, "Yeah, I okay. My car aren't, though."
So I said, "Hey, are you okay? I don't have Discord RN, but I heard the news." And he said, "Yeah, I'm fine. Almost died, LOL. Sorry for the late response. My phone was off." I said, "It's okay. What happened?" He said, "I was out driving, needed to clear my thoughts, so I park at the boat ramp, drop off at the river, but my dump parks on the dirt and mud ramp, so when I try and leave, it gets stuck. I don't have my phone on me because it's dead. I try shimmying it, low gearing it, nothing works. Then it slides into the river, me inside. I'm able to get out, drenched in cold water, 1 a.m. I responded, "Oh my god." He said, "It's freezing out in February at night. I know I'll die of hypothermia if I don't act fast, so I make my way onto the road and wait for a car that takes 5 minutes. I flag him down, and the Samaritans help me by letting me use their phone to call my parents and to heat up in their car." I said, "Jesus Christ, dude." He said, "They arrive, the police are called, and we collectively decide to wait until tomorrow."
Well, Diddy might do no time. Yeah, no, Diddy might do no time, bro. He got 2 fucking charges. He got the prostitution charges, bro. He didn't get RICO. He didn't get sex. Like, bro, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm not gonna lie, bro. That's crazy. I mean, he's still gonna do 20 years or more, but like, I don't know what they're gonna offer him. I don't know.
It out. So in summary, I nearly died and am out.
Hey, but Youngboy dropping on the 4th, man. Sosa, the GOAT, dropping an album. He's officially back.
Out of a car. It was towed out this morning, but I'm fine. So
everything was
text. That was my Saturday night.
Kellen, who stopped to help him that night. In an interview, Kellen describes Brian's behavior at the boat ramp.
During the encounter, before his family got up there, he kept kind of pacing around and saying, "I'm effed," expletive, and try to calm down a little bit because I thought he was kind of...
He doing 20, he gonna get... Did they come out with the sentencing yet? Bro, he better get... I don't know.
Concerned about
That's crazy.
He crashed his car in the river or something, and I was like, "Hey, it's gonna be okay."
And he can never be charged with this shit again. That's like... That's crazy, man.
Saying, "I'm effed. This over and over and over again, so...
With his attempts to dispose of the body and cover his tracks, Brian is showing clearly that.
But I'm not gonna lie, watch. He's gonna fuck around again, and he's gonna fuck up. Oh shit! For real, bro.
Right from
he's
wrong.
rich. If he's rich, he can get
is
out of
further demonstrated by his search history on the day after the murder, when he looked up how to wipe data from Android phone. Does the river wash away evidence? How to dispose of organic refuse.
What?
His history also contains numerous searches for information on serial killers, a subject Brian has great interest in.
I read books. I have a book on forensics.
Okay. Did you read the book, the Ted Bundy book?
No, it was on the internet.
Yeah, okay. All right. And Pete studied him too. Yeah, so...
Crazy. Do you know who Ed Gain? No, in California. At Stanford. Yeah. Studied him? I know of him. He was a Goliath. He was 6'9", 300 pounds. So can I ask you a question? Almost all those people did this for some sort of, whether they had sex with the body or it was some sexual gratification in their mind. Criminology, there's different types of... I'm not a serial killer by no means. But with serial killers, there's different types of them. There's organized, disorganized, missionary. I'm just wondering what gets you excited about doing it? Well, I'm not really sexually attracted to it. Okay. I was just asking.
Brian's
and no, for real, I believe him because he's been honest about everything.
But that he found no attraction to the concept of murder is doubtful, given his excitement at the chance to relive the killing by telling the officers every little detail of the crime. Still, the detectives are determined to figure out the why behind Brian's gruesome actions.
So, I'm curious about the Cotney mob taking parts of him home. Have you ever thought about, so it sounds like you've had like Ted Bundy sex type stuff. Ed Kemper just kill people because you want to kill somebody, plus the sex and stuff. How about Jeffrey Dahmer?
It wasn't really inspired by it. It was just more.
I'm just trying to think of all the people like
these people can do it, so can I.
Brian's claim that he's not inspired by serial killers is somewhat undermined by that last remark. The following part of the video is redacted, but we know from the transcript that Brian tells the detectives that his nickname in high school was Jeffrey Dahmer. He says he had a reputation that he would become a serial killer.
When we would do different group activities.
So you've known him. When I was at Hempstead, you probably know him, Nike. The motherfucker that a year after he graduated went out to Chicago and 2 motherfuckers. And now he's in prison.
Sometimes we would have like different personalities or whatever, and you'd be like,
they're mental.
Jeffrey. I'm like, no, you're not. I do remember that specifically. He was very obsessed with Jeffrey Dahmer, and is it Dylan Klebold, the Columbine shooter, was obsessed with him. I remember actually talking to my mom and saying, take this name to your prayer group. I mean, I remember talking to another teacher and saying, if any kid's going to shoot a fruit of mine, it's this kid.
In an interview, Brian's high school friend Patrick Rahor recalls the Halloween party they both attended.
Do you remember a costume that he wore?
Yeah, he wore a Jeffrey Dahmer costume.
Okay. And I heard he was Mike Myers one year. Was that? He was actually Jeffrey Dahmer?
Oh my god! He joined the football team, bro. I remember for like a week, and he got kicked off. I swear to God, he joined the football team and got kicked off. The shit nobody would go. I swear, nobody would go in the locker room. Everybody would let him go in, and we would stay out just to do extra conditioning and let him go. Swear, on everything I love, swear. We would do it, and then bro said, I don't know what he actually said, but he said some weird shit to the coach, and the coach kicked him off.
We had a couple of Christmas parties, but
he was gonna take it,
but yeah, he's like
for real.
Killer a couple of times.
When he was, I guess, Jeffrey Dahmer, how did that look? I guess how did his costume look?
I mean, it was like jeans, a plaid shirt, and like big glasses, which honestly was like not too entirely different from what he normally wore.
His obsession with crime, serial killers, and all things morbid was something that his parents had noticed too.
A lot of separation on crime and crime scenes. And so he's talking about going into the military in the fall, and when he gets out, having your job. And so I had purchased online a crime scene investigation book for him. It's like ones that you probably read it when you first started out in college. And so I gave that to him, and I was like, so here, Brian, let's channel that curiosity into something positive that you can affect a good change in the world. And he's like, yeah, that's my plan, Mom. I'm not going to say always had a fascination. I'm going to say in the last few years. And is it like shows that he watches, or like tries to do things just to create a scene?
If my kid's watching some weird ass shit or reading some weird ass shit, I'm smacking the fuck out of him.
It's like
I don't give a man.
Or now he loves our dogs. I mean, he's very affectionate with our animals, and he would watch. Like just last week, he watched Silence of the Lambs, but I was like, well, he's 19. What's your,
Probably all watched it.
I watched it. It doesn't make me a serial killer, Right. And he watched The Zodiac Killer over the summer a couple of times.
Brian's affinity for Jeffrey Dahmer wasn't the only warning sign observed by his teachers.
Like the first week of school, we had a meeting with all of his teachers and his case manager, expressing the concerns that they had with him and also explaining some of his behavioral issues.
Did anybody express that they had concerns he could be a serious safety issue or anything like that?
Yes, I believe so. We were to keep a very close eye on him, and it's certainly very apparent early on that he was a very troubled person.
In the 2019 school year, one of Brian's teachers found a notebook filled with a number of disturbing elements.
So I remember, I don't even remember who found, there was like a notebook, I don't know if it's part of a notebook check, or my student teacher, another student, or somehow it got brought, and we had a meeting with Officer Beaumar and the administration out at Fruita, just because it had some obviously concerning stuff talking about like serial killer statistics and stuff, like just seemed to be...
Ted Bundy killed 31 girls, females. Whole Ted Bundy, King Von out here, bruh. He was vining around.
So that was kind of the... And they asked us, did we think he was like a threat to us or other students?
John Gacy killed 33 people? Holy shit.
I feel like he was going to do any harm to anyone on the school.
That's fucking crazy.
Serial killers, some information.
Yo, I was thinking like 10 is like the max. Man, I was thinking 10 to 12.
That's not entirely normal.
The disturbing contents of the book discussed by Brian's teacher far exceed his initial portrayal. Within its pages lie numerous troubling...
Stop talking like Vaughn like he a god. No, Vaughn was a murker, bruh. I ain't talking like Vaughn was a god. I'm saying he a murker. Sosa, don't sit here and try to deny it. Don't even sit here and try to deny it. Your cousins was... Sosa. Bruh. Why do people... Even GDs will say it's like Vaughn in 2012, bro. Why do they say that? You know what I mean? Like... All right, I'll stop saying Vaughn. I'll think of someone new. I'll think of someone new.
What? Serial killers and other disturbing topics. Among these, Brian has devised his own cryptic code.
I'll think of someone else. No. You don't think I know 51 Melly? You don't think I know 051 Melly, bruh? You don't think I don't know him?
Furthermore, Brian's brief profiles of his favorite killers paint a
I know Melly. I do know Melly.
With destruction and depravity. Additionally,
wait, are you being dead ass? Because I've heard you bring up your cousins a couple times, and I didn't want to say nothing because my luck, they would be legit and pull up on me, find my fucking IP, and what'd you say about social blood? Man, what you say? Alright, shut your white ass up.
Taking lives and holding strong opinions about his own purpose and actions.
That's your blood. No way that's your blood. You're trolling. You're trolling. No, now you're trolling. Alright, I'm recording a YouTube video, but YouTube, watch this. No fucking way that's your cousin. Oh, whoops. No way. Wait, what? He was... Bro, he would... I don't want to say something stupid. Is he... I didn't know he... Bro, did he, I don't know. I'm just not going to ask no questions. I'm not going to ask no questions. My bad. Yeah, Jesus. No way. I was going to ask. No way. I remember hearing I remember him in high school. I do remember him in high school. Hearing him and Vaughn beefed, right? They were like the main, him and Vaughn, and then Vaughn and Youngboy, wasn't it like the main beefs? Because Dirk wasn't, I'm not including Dirk. Dirk wasn't included in none of that shit, like beefing wise. R.I.P. Melly, bro. I didn't know that. On Everything I Love, I didn't know he died. Swear to God.
His beliefs and neutral.
Dirk is scared of everybody. Real talk. Dirk was scared of everybody. Vaughn was Dirk's soldier. We're not gonna sit here and deny it. Like, Dirk was scared of everybody.
One such
he goes to Atlanta every fucking week.
Evil villain does whatever she can to get away with. She's out for herself, pure and simple.
No fucking way that's your cousin, bro. I'm not trying to say that's a flex, but...
Sheds no tears for those.
Damn!
Whether for profit, sports, or convenience. This is far from the only warning sign that emerged during his time at school.
Wow, that's crazy. I'm going to be sitting here... Dude, I'm not going to lie, Sosa. I'm going to be sitting here, like, later today. I'm going to be like... Damn, he really is related to Melly. I'm just be saying that randomly.
And was arrested Swear to God, on charges when he hit another student with a homemade mace.
Here, well, after this video, I'm gonna do some research. I'm gonna do a thingy on him. Reasons I don't. Hey, valid ass reasons. Those are valid ass reasons, bro. Yeah, no. I didn't know none of that. So I didn't. If I was joking and said something that pissed you off, swear to God, I didn't mean nothing by that. Swear on everything I love. I don't affiliate with nothing.
Attention together. And so it was the day of his speech, and he wanted to go first. And he pulled out this Indiana Jones like whip that he fashioned out of masking tape. So to start the speech, he kept hitting the podium. Of course, everyone looked, and then he gave his speech. Then later that day, he ended up whipping one of our side-by-side developmentally disabled students at the bus stop.
In early 2019, he was suspended after intentionally causing a student with PTSD to suffer a panic attack. In a subsequent meeting, school administrators conclude that Brian has a high potential for violence and presents a high risk for the school.
I'm gonna do a documentary thing on Melly after this. Right after this. That's gonna be my second video. Because I don't know much about Melly. Real talk, I don't.
Several run-ins with the management at school. Brian's mother, Terry Cohey, has a strikingly different opinion about the incidents.
When you talked about the school stuff and having lots of issues.
Hey, I'm gonna take a rip from Melly. I don't mean to keep talking about him, but like, I just don't want you pissed off because I'm praising Vaughn. For real. I don't want you, like, hey, I fuck with his music. Oh shit. Okay, I don't do none of that. I don't do no gangsta. I swear to God. Damn it. What the fuck am I doing? I'm watching the video. I'm done. No more talking about it. I bet. Watch. All right, bet. We will. After the matter of fact, fuck this video. I'm not even going to post this shit. On everything I love, fuck this video.